I'm here to talk to you about scarcity mindset and fasting. Something I learned during my alternate day fast that I started almost 3 weeks ago. And I didn't even think I would be able to do alternate day fasting, for starters. I've been thinking about it for a long time, but I employed one of my own mindset skills, like something that I use to change my mindset, is that just like I told you guys before, that when I quit smoking, I just told myself I'm not a smoker anymore. And so I just quit smoking. I just put the pack in the trash and that was it. I was done. Right. But so when I decided to alternate day fast this time around, which I started on September 1st, I said to myself, hey, what, Natalie, guess what? You are an alternate day faster now. And so with that said, right, with being an alternate day faster, guess what? I'm an alternate day faster. Now, that sounds easier said than done, right? Obviously, I've fasted before. I've done 16/8 before. But doing like the alternate day, which is a 36-hour fast every other day, right? On the feasting days, you're having like a 10 to 12 hour eating window. I was scared. And then I didn't even know why. I was like, why am I scared? Like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be so hungry. Like, how am I going to do it? Am I going to pass out? All these things that go through your mind. And, I'm talking about stick with me here because I'm going to drop some gems about what I realized into the second week of this fast, because I did a lot of journaling. So I'm recommending, if you're going to fast, that first of all, you get out your journal and you just journal whatever you're feeling, whatever comes up, because you're gonna drop some gems for yourself that maybe you can share with other people. Because it never hit me. I've been working on a scarcity mindset in different areas of my life, mostly in my financial life, because that's where you hear people talk about scarcity and poverty mindset more than anything, is when it comes to money, right? So getting away from a poverty mindset or a scarcity mindset when it comes to money was about investing your money and not spending it all and things like that. Things like listening to commercials where they're telling you, like those sales, those deals, like on the holidays where they tell you, that you can only get this right now. If you don't buy this now, you'll never see this deal again. You'll never get it at this price. So now you don't only just go out and buy one, you buy 3 of them, because heaven forbid, like, you can't ever get it at that price again. Or do you even, and you don't even really need all of those things, right? Like, I'd go to the store and buy like 5 pairs of pants, and because they're on sale, but I don't really need them. See, that's a poverty mindset. When you have an abundance mindset, you just buy what you need. And the first time I realized that I had a poverty mindset, that I was carrying a poverty mindset, was through the pandemic, like in 2020. And that's when you realize, like, a lot of people have this poverty mindset. It comes up at different times, like when hurricanes and things like that. When people feel like, oh, we were going to run out of toilet paper. We were never going to see toilet paper again. So heaven forbid, we had to go and buy all the toilet paper off the shelves. Or we were going to never see chicken again. So we had to go buy all the chicken out of the store and stock up our fridge, right? And here's the thing. The truth is, it's so untrue. Because if you don't have chicken, you can always find something else to eat. There are other protein sources. You may like chicken. You may have a taste for chicken, but just because you don't have chicken doesn't mean you're going to starve. But they start advertising or telling you on the news, oh, there's no chicken, there's no eggs, no toilet paper, and people just freak out because we have this lack mindset. With an abundance mindset, what do? You adjust and you pivot, because you know that there's always enough, right? And you also know that you're flexible, because you know that the truth of the matter is, it's the protein source that you need, and the protein source doesn't have to come from chicken, right? It just doesn't have to come from chicken. So one of the things I realized while I was journaling was that there were times in my life where I didn't have food, right? Where maybe I didn't have enough money for food, or my family didn't have enough money for food, or there wasn't a lot of food, and so when you have gone through that in your life, right, where you've gone through scarcity, right, you have a tendency to, when you're able to, you will fill your cupboards, you will fill your fridge. My fridge and cupboards have more than enough food to feed me, my household, and the neighbors, probably all my neighbors. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. But the next thing that happens is that because maybe there was a time where you didn't have anything to eat, or you had days where you didn't, in your life where you spent days where you didn't have anything to eat, that leads to, when you do have enough to eat, it's kind of like hoarding. You hoard because you have a mindset that, what if tomorrow I don't have it? Let me fill up. Let me get enough of this so that I don't, in case tomorrow I have to go without, right? But here's the thing. There's always enough food. The truth is, you don't ever go to the grocery store and there's no food. And if you can't afford the food, sometimes there's a pantry you can go to. And I'm not saying that when it comes to excess weight, that's the only thing. I'm talking to those of you out there who are on your journey and are going to start journaling about this, or maybe thinking about doing alternate day fasting and thinking about why you may not want to do it. Because I think my fear was just that. When I was thinking about, I was like, I'm going to go a whole day without food. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? If I go, am I going to evaporate? Poof, I'm going to evaporate if I go a whole day without food. Of course not. And the truth of the matter is, by the time I'm now almost at the end of week 3, you know what's truly happening? When it's time to eat, I'm ready to eat those days. And then your body adjusts. Like, you pivot. Your body itself, your house, pivots with you. And when it's time to fast, you get up and your body is like, oh yeah, today's a fasting day. And you just go along and you do what you have to do. And I definitely do tell myself that if I want to eat, I can eat. Right? I keep myself in that abundance mindset. And one thing that we don't see when it comes to this poverty mindset or this lack mindset that we have, right? The scarcity mindset that we have, is how this translates into our actual wealth, the money. The money, yes. And it's not just money. There's abundance. You start to appreciate and see the abundance in a lot of things. You start to see where the abundance is in your life. Because you can translate and use this in different parts of your life, right? Like I said, I used it in my financial life. Now I'm using it on my health. I may use it I use it in my spiritual life. And it's pretty amazing that abundance can come through a mindset shift, right? Because definitely having your health is an abundant thing to have. You know how many people get to my age and they don't have their health? Do you know how many people, are even younger than me and they don't have their health? With your health, you're able to do so many other things. How can you, when you don't have health, can you go to work? It literally hinders your ability to bring in your wealth in that way. But this mindset shift also further translates into your wealth in other ways. It may be how you're saving. Maybe now I'll be looking at how much I'm putting in my investments and think like, wait a minute, maybe I can put more in. If I can do without 5 pairs of pants, right, on that sale, that's extra money I have to put into investments. I'm just saying, I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down right now and seeing where I'm going with this, because there are other things that come up when you fast. So it's not, I just wanted to share with you that it's not solely about the weight loss. You start losing other parts, other things in your life that are literally unnecessary, or they're hindering your progress, so to speak, right? And when your progress is hindered, your abundance is hindered. So I have some other things that I learned too that I'll be sharing with you guys in a separate video. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I did want to talk to you, to those of you out there who are thinking about fasting. Definitely check with your doctor. I'm not telling anybody to do anything that's not for them. Make sure that you're healthy enough to do this. But if you're thinking about it, you're going to learn a lot about yourself if you journal. Because I've done the 16/8 fasting before and didn't journal. And journaling really something about it. And it wasn't like I was thinking about anything. These thoughts come and you're just like, oh, this is what's happening. And things will come up and you'll be ready. Journaling will be a way for you to release things. Maybe you have other traumas in your life that have led to the weight gain, right? That you don't even think about. Other ways of thinking that you were given when you were growing up, like things like, oh, if you're eating food, like you have to clean off your plate. Who says that you have to clean off your plate? If you're full, stop eating. Why do you have to clean off your plate? Right? That's also part of a lack mindset, right? I mean, there's a part about not being wasteful, but you're not a garbage can. So we're not garbage cans. So if we're full, we should be able to say, like, we're done. That's it. No more. Right? So anyhow, drop me a comment. Let me know if you've tried alternate day fasting, if you're planning on trying alternate day fasting. And if you have tried it, I want you to let me know. I want you to share in the comments what you've learned from your alternate day fasting, because although you will lose weight, in the first 2 weeks, I got to tell you, in case you're wondering, like, hey, well, you talked about all this, but did you lose anything? Yeah, I lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks. That's probably the most that I've lost on a fast, right? In that short period of time. Is that going to be the same for everyone? No, I don't know what you will lose. It's going to depend on you and how you eat. Are you eating processed foods? Are you eating whole foods? It's going to depend on a lot of things. But, you'll definitely lose if you alternate day fast. There are people that eat processed foods and still lose weight on alternate day, on different kinds of fasts. So I suggest that you eat whole, healthy foods that are going to keep you satiated on your fast days, that are going to hold you over on those days that you fast, because you'll have less cravings. That's what I suggest. That's what I do. So anyhow, but yeah, if you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think. And I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.